What is going on, YouTube land? Greg here, Gondella Outdoors, and man, I hope you're not sick of seeing my ugly face. I said in the last video we were going to have another product. I'm just going to incorporate it into this video because it kind of goes with this product. So we're going to start off with the Nomad fishing nets from Fishpond. Landing nets, not fishing nets. Landing nets. When Fishpond first came out with the Nomad nets, I was not a fan, and I've been a Fishpond junkie for a long time, but there was something about the Nomad nets I didn't like. I don't know why. So last year I had my big boat net that was custom built for me by Fishnet, probably 15 years ago, and that was always my boat net. And then when I started doing a lot of walk wade trips, I was using a short net. It was actually, I want to say it was a Freybill because that's what I used when I was competing. Just had a big basket on it, big deep net, and it was pretty light. So what I didn't like was I had to like literally get out in front of the client and try to scoop it because the handle on the Freybill was like this long. And walk wading with the boat net, while it's a great net, the thing was long. It was probably close to 5 feet long. So having that extra, 2 feet of handle hanging out my wader belt as we were trying to walk through tight spaces in the woods, I decided last year when we did the storm shadow that I was going to purchase a Nomad and see what I thought. So the first net I ever purchased was the middle fork, which is, you saw this actually in the video I did the other day on how to get the net into the Ridgeline Tech Pack. So this is the Nomad middle fork. So it's a little bit shorter than the Yampa guide that they do. But I do have the rubber cap on it, so I do use it as a wading staff from time to time. This is in the brown trout, so it's got the nice handle on it. Right up here on the top of the handle, it does have a ruler. I don't use it. If you saw me flipping this net around, I do have a Fish Techie proof ball inside of it, especially when we're guiding. Guys are always asking, how big was the fish? And not that I don't like to keep and handle fish to get pictures. I don't want the fish out of water longer than it needs to be. And the reason I do like this net, especially in those situations when I'm dealing with clients, and even when I'm fishing myself, if I'm using this, this handle is long enough to crease under my knee. When I'm under, bent down in the water, I can just hold it with my knee and handle the fish, and I'm still keeping it in the water. But it's great with this proof ball. Another thing that I wasn't really keen on when these first came out, but again, when you're trying to guesstimate fish for people, this made life a lot easier. So I literally can leave this in the water. As long as my camera picks up the proof ball, it'll give me a measurement. It might not be 100%, but it gets pretty close. So that is not the product, by the way, that we were going to talk about extra, but I guess it worked out. So on this particular net, I run the clear bag, especially because I do use this out of the boat now. It makes life a lot easier. It's easier to move this around in the boat, so I don't have to, have, again, a 4 foot or 3.5 foot long handle moving around the boat with clients in it. So this makes it a lot easier. I can still one hand if I need to, but I usually scoop with 2 hands. So this is, again, the middle fork. It's not overly pricey, but again, it's a composite carbon fiber type net. So these are going to be a little bit more expensive. So just keep that in mind if you are looking at purchasing one. What I do like is they do sell replacement nets for these. And the other product I will show you here at the end, the reason a lot of guys ask me why my net stays so clean, especially because it's clear. And I will show that to you once I talk about the other net. So the Nomad nets have been a hit. They do the Artist series. They do a couple different colorways. So the next one I literally just got with my last purchase, because when I'm fishing by myself, sometimes I don't want to have to do the whole take the sword out of the sheath deal. So I wanted something that was a little bit easier. So I ended up getting one of their shorter nets in the series, and I will grab that right now. So I went with the standard Yampa net. So this is a short handle in their terms. It does give you measurements. So actually the measurement on this guy actually goes right there. It's 24. So you're using the tip of the net basket to the bottom of the handle here to get your measurement. It does come with the leash with the scissor clip on it. I haven't used it. I kind of just let it dangle. I'll probably end up taking it off because I do have a magnet that is attached to my Storm Shadow, and then this clips onto it. And I do it that way so that the handle is at my hips, and once I do have a fish, I just grab the handle and pull. And I did this one in the black because I'm fishing smaller water with it usually, and I didn't want the big white basket that is on the middle fork. People don't realize the difference of clear to black sometimes, and you're trying not to spook fish as you're trying to net them. If they see that big white basket coming at them, they're going to freak out, where this is going to blend in with the water a little bit as far as the basket goes. And you can see this one is pretty new. It hasn't been broken in yet. It doesn't flop like the other one does. But this is in the River Armor, so it's more of that carbon fiber look. But super light, easy to handle, and that is my magnet making noise at the top there. So these have really changed my mind. Obviously I bought one and really liked it, so buying a second one for different situations, they changed my mind. Let's put it that way. They changed my mind. So I will probably end up with their actual boat net at some point. But the longer you go, I think there is, let me see here. I actually have the card from them. So the Yampa is this guy right here. The middle fork is right there. There's the Yampa guide. And then this is their boat net, way over there. So the boat net didn't give you this, 6 foot. So she's a big one. Then they have a mid-length boat net, which was basically the middle fork with a boat basket on it. And again, that big basket's really nice in the boat, but I don't think I would want to do it, just walk wade trips. So at some point or another, I will end up with 5 or 6 different nets for different situations. And it all comes down to you. You have to find what works for you in your situation, what rivers you're fishing. Like I said, the middle fork, you can definitely walk wade with it. Just keep it in the sheath, similar to that I showed in the Ridgeline Tech Pack video. In the Storm Shadow, it works great because it is literally like a sword. So again, not super inexpensive. You're not gonna break the bank, but if you're looking for a good net, I know that I've seen a couple guys break baskets, and Fishpond stands behind their stuff, so they will get you taken care of and fixed up, and you can buy replaceable bags, net bags. So going back to the comment I made earlier, because I try not to run these gear reviews too long, on my middle fork I have a clear basket, and the reason I like the clear basket is, one, especially when I'm taking pictures, the fish, if I keep it in the water, you don't see a lot of the net. So they do get dirty. Water has dirty. If it's high water, it's really dirty. If you have it in your truck, it's bouncing around. That net's kind of just all over the place. So years ago, I had a net that I was using from a company called Yokota Supply Company, and they make some really good products. Their net was awesome. It was actually, the handle was made out of a hockey stick. I passed that on to a friend of mine who is a guide, and he loves it because he was looking for a long handle net. But they also, when I bought that net, it came with a net bag. So this, I will probably end up buying more of these as I acquire more nets. But this fits perfectly on the middle fork. So it's just a drawstring. It's like a Dyneema bag. It's nothing fancy, but they're made in Colorado. This middle fork is in my truck at all times, and that's it. The bag is clean. I don't have to worry about rubbing on anything. And especially if you're hiking somewhere, you can keep this on there to make sure your net bag doesn't catch any branches, rods, whatever. So that was the product that I was talking about. And again, it's the Yakota net bag. They're made in Colorado. If you're looking for a cheap way to keep your net from getting ruined, go buy one. So they're still in business. They make a lot of cool products. Check them out. So until next time, click that like, hit the subscribe button, get your notifications every time we release a video. We will have some news coming up again in July. I'm probably going to announce it around July 4th. So we'll have some other gear that we're going to have to review by that point. Until then, check us out. Like, comment, message us if you want to see something specific, questions or concerns. Other than that, tight lines. We'll see you on the water.